think it's the Dallas Harlequins.
Yeah, I just shot my first like little video yesterday.
Yeah, if you're interested.
But I like when it comes to like the thing that I had such a hard time like working with a camera in Lebanon is like how do you document or how do you tell a story without like still honoring the people, you know, because like you don't want to. And so like with all my camera workers, like we asked them to first try to build a personal connection with cameras down and see them or like have a cup of tea and like relate to them first before and then like slowly work in. So it was hard because like we, you know, like I was paying them, you know, but I'm like, okay, don't worry about money for a second. And just like be patient, and I think because we were patient with people, like that's why they opened us up into their homes. And when it came to interviews, some of them felt safer to share their story. But so figuring out a story to tell. Dude, nice ink, man.
Thanks, dude. I just got this on Friday.
So this is our guest in from Raqqa, I guess, or Berlin?
Yeah, you'll take a chance. Let's see. So if there's any pictures from here you'd like to use, let me know, and we can just go through them and take them out. For whatever reason, they didn't extract properly to the drive. So I have to like physically extract and show the individual pictures.
No, Republican.
Yeah.
Oh, my laptop is stuck.
Dude, I've got to figure out how to use the camera.
There's like one right behind you.
Okay.
I'm following me now, it's okay. No, there's one like right behind you.
Okay, yeah, it's fine. I was just going to just globe.
Exactly, that's the problem. And so
Dude, is this you?
Yeah.
That's awesome, dude. That's hilarious. I love it. This postcard's sweet, man.
They just put this plastic down for us because they don't trust us.
yeah.
So I don't
the same thing.
If I own this house, yeah.
So Eritrea is a
this
fine
is-
country, but look what's
It's hard to read. Raqqa is being slaughtered silently. A handful of anonymous activists who banded together after their homeland was taken over by ISIS in 2014. With astonishing, deeply personal access, this is a story of a group of citizen journalists as they face the realities of life undercover, on the run, and in exile, risking.
Is there
Lasagna.
Is this where we come here?
No.
Rhodesia, Tanganyika.
Risking their lives to stand up against one of the greatest evils in the world today. He knows a lot about ISIS, I guess.
You know where you're at and where you're coming from. Yeah, 4. So this is what Thor is gonna say for you, and if somebody needs to translate.
Okay,
What I've heard and seen is that it's less than the
Figuring out photos for the presentation.
and to send a picture to someone. It's free.
These drives. But then the big question is how do you get these into the hands of North Koreans?
It goes up into the air, into North Korea. The timer opens up the bag. It's a very low tech, and the bag is packed with flash drives, leaflets, all sorts of things.
According to the Human Rights Foundation, an estimated 7,500 flash drives were sent into North Korea by all outside organizations in 2015. In 2016, that up to 10,000. And the goal for 2017, drop 50,000 flash drives.
Providing this sort of information allows
I struck up a conversation with the photographer, and he's like, I'm the photographer for Morning Joe, and I'm like, okay, and he's like, that's the senior producer, and that's the on-air talent, Savannah. So I walked away, and I went to get something to drink, and I'm like, how can I get these people to cover what we're doing? So I just like started talking to them, and then she was like, this is amazing, this is what I do, I'm trying to do more in like the tech for good space.
Yeah.
Just write me, just like, let's make it happen. And obviously it was, the key piece was Yeonmi, because I thought that she would be quite good for this.
Yeah.
And Savannah like fell in love with her, and like now she's like gonna hang out with her. And
Alright, so this is day 2 of me getting behind the camera. This is our guest here in Austin. What's your name, man?
Abdulaziz Al Hamza.
And so what brings you to Austin?
So I came for South by Southwest to have a conference with the Human Rights Foundation to talk like about the situation in Syria, and there are like other friends who will talk about Cuba, Eritrea, and Afghanistan.
Okay, awesome. So have you had any Texas barbecue yet?
Yeah, just had one. It was like really amazing.
Well, so what's your favorite food from Syria?
So chicken's like my favorite food.
Chicken?
In Syria. Yeah, and like I was like lucky to have chicken everywhere. I don't miss it.
Yeah. So how many siblings do you have?
How many siblings?
Brothers, sisters?
So I have like just one brother.
Okay, that's awesome. I'm the 5th of 7, so I come from a huge family.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and which part of Syria are you from?
I'm from Raqqa.
Yeah, I've heard about that a little bit. So what was your Syria is more tea versus coffee, right?
Yeah, especially like in our city, like people prefer tea, so they drink tea 24 hours.
Okay. And so do you like backgammon too? Isn't backgammon where like the boards that there's?
I don't know how to play it.
You don't know?
Yeah.
So whenever you're drinking tea, do you prefer to read a book when you're drinking tea at home?
No, I prefer like to watch a movie or watch the TV.
Okay.
So that's what I do usually.
Yeah, cause you're into like new media, right?
Yeah.
You were talking earlier about the film that you're featured in, right? The City of Ghosts. So how did you get involved with that project?
Yeah. So like I didn't like get the question. Like
Yeah. How did the City of Ghosts, the director producer, did he contact you? How did he find you?
Actually, like I knew from him that he was like he saw like ISIS came up like in the news. It was started to be like the main topic, and he read an article about us in the New Yorker, and he contacted us, and like we met in US, and like we decided to make this documentary together.
Okay, so you predominantly what kind of creative are you? Like, are you a writer, actor, or?
So I'm like journalist.
Journalist?
Writer.
So you like to write?
Yeah.
What's your when you write for fun? What's your favorite thing to write about?
Actually, I don't write for fun. Like most of the things I write about is like about the situation in Syria, extremism. Like it's not that interesting thing to write about, but like I started to be like linked to it because like I know like a lot about it. I have like experience doing this thing for like years, so talk to it.
Yeah, because you were saying you first got involved whenever ISIS was coming after you at your home and you weren't there, and you were able to transition.
Yeah, I got like involved with like journalism when the Syrian Revolution started in 2011, and when ISIS arrived to my city, and when they controlled it, they tried like to arrest me. They came to my house. I was lucky not to be there, and I found my way to escape to Turkey. Then like I and my colleagues we established RBSS Raqqa as being slaughtered silently to tell like the world about what's going on.
Yeah. So when did you first start writing?
When the Syrian Revolution started.
No, I mean were you able to? Were you? As I mean, you come across as very well educated, like in Syria.
Yeah.
So like, when did you first get passionate about writing? Like when you were a kid, like did you always want to be a writer, or is it something you kind of stumbled into?
No, and even I didn't study anything about journalism. I graduated like biochemistry, so I was studying biochemistry at the university. So I had like nothing to do with journalism. But when the Syrian Revolution started, the local TV was controlling everything. So it was not allowed to the private international media to come to the city to cover what's going on. So I decided to be activist and film with my mobile phone the demonstrations, the protests, and what's going on, and to upload it online. And then I started to be addicted like to this kind of work.
Yeah. Do you mind if we step outside where it's a little quieter? Then we don't get so much echo.
A meeting? Safety meeting. I don't think so.
So you were saying biochemistry, huh?
Yeah.
Wait, so why biochemistry? I mean, that sounds like a...
It was like not my selection, like my family decided that I need to study biochemistry, and I did. And right now, even I graduated, I don't have anything to do with like biochemistry.
Yeah.
So I'm doing journalism, even I didn't study it, but I had like many training, how to write, how to edit, and even I've done like many other things. Right now I'm like digital security trainer. So I got like many trainings, workshop to be a trainer. So and now I'm helping other Syrians, other activists like to protect themselves, to teach them about like digital security and encryption.
That's awesome, dude. It's good that you found some work that you're passionate about. I mean, I know it's kind of a difficult circumstances, but the fact that, you know, you're, yeah. Wait, so can you remember? I sometimes forget what I wanted to be when I grew up, when I was a little kid. What did you want to be when you grew up?
When I was kid, like I was thinking to be like a doctor. Because like in the Middle East, the best job to get was like to be a doctor. And like I grew up like in a community where everyone tried to be a doctor. So, and I said, okay, I'm gonna be a doctor.
And so you said you had one sibling. Is it your? Are you older or younger?
The oldest.
Has your? Tell me about your family. Is your family? Okay.
My father's still there. So.
Yeah. Sorry. And my dad was superintendent of schools, and so I grew up in a small town of 3,100 people, and practically an American village, as my Indian friend called it. And that was the first, when I was living in India, that was the first time someone had, so you grew up in a village, and I was like, I had never really thought about it from that perspective, but, and so you said, from details, you've been in the States many times, you've talked to Senator McCain, you've talked to Kerry. If you were to break down your observation of American politics, what would you say? There's really no right or wrong answer.
Yeah, like the thing with the American politics, let's say, like with Obama administration, it went really bad. So they've talked about many red lines, and everyone crossed that red line, and they didn't do anything. And they were talking about taking actions all the time, and they've done nothing. So look, I can see like the Syrians, many other countries are like hopeless from the United States. So when I was a kid, I knew that United States is like the most powerful country in the world, and like they could do like many actions. They were able to change many things, but now the people don't believe in that thing because like what we've seen recently, that it was like just speeches, like nothing more than that. So I don't have like any hope.
Sure. Yeah. So I went off the Syrian border last year for Stories of Refuge, a small little nonprofit, and like my original mission was to try to enable Syrians to tell their own stories. I mean, I think you've been forced quite literally to your work right now, given the nature of a historic crisis. But before the war started, could you like did you have did you live in the city, in town?
Yes.
Did you have a front yard?
What's it?
A yard?
Yeah.
Did you have flowers? I mean, can you describe your home to me?
Yeah, like I was like living in a city. It was like not that modern city. It was like a forgotten city comparing with other Syrian cities, but it was like nice, simple, not that complicated, not that crowded. I was living like in a nice house. It was like really huge house, like with like 7-8 bedrooms. So even we were like a small family, but it's like it was like a nice house, and it was like really like a normal life. So even I had like no political background, I had like no political views or whatever. I was like just that teenager who's thinking to hang out with his friend, steal money from my father to do like something with my friends, playing soccer all the time. So but other things changed when the Syrian Revolution started.
Sure. When did you have your first girlfriend?
It's like a good question, and like no one asked me about it before, like in an interview. But when I was like 16, I was like a bit young.
What was her name? If you want, you don't have to share it. That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I forgot the context. Let's see. Who were some of your favorite cartoons or movie stars, like when you were little or growing up, like teenage, high school?
Actually, when I was a kid, I used to watch Tom and Jerry.
Yeah, me too, man.
Actually, everyone, like I discovered later on that everyone watched Tom and Jerry, and like even the old people, they were like forced to watch it with their kids. They started to be addicted to it, like in somehow. Later on, like I kept watching like Arab movies, and like I have like some of them. I watched like Titanic 7 times.
Yeah, Titanic 7 times.
Because like everyone was talking about it. I had to watch it like with my friends, relatives, whatever. So it was like a nice one.
That's hilarious. Okay, well,
that happened to my son.
let's see. No, we just cut there, man.
Yeah.
Well, appreciate it, man.
I kind of feel like I'm in California.
No, it feels like Texas. Cowboy.
I just realized I wasn't even recording. So I know this is fitting. I don't know what I'm doing. So, but yeah, I agree. Like the 04 definitely is a real Austin vibe.
Yeah.
And it's like the long beards. You know, you fit right in. You know, outside of this bling VIP, but
Not that VIP, but like thing.
yeah, no, I mean it's yeah. Sorry, dude. No, Sean's cool. So we're at the 04. We enjoyed a cool vibe, a little slower pace, real Austin, and then where did we go?
I don't even remember.
Continental Club.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard some good old Texas rock and roll?
No, at all. But like, I've been there like 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
And it was like really a good experience. Like,
Tell me about Kelly.
Kelly, she was like really a good teacher. Helped me like to know how to dance, like rock and roll.
A little two-step to some rock and roll.
Yeah, which was like really good experience, which I love it. So, but I think it's like a nice city. I'm gonna move here, like.
Yeah, I think Austin would welcome you.
Yeah,
there's a lot of challenges, but
it's a great place to be at.
Yeah, it's like a good place to be.
And
since it has like people like you, I would be like super honorable to be here.
Our last thoughts, because you have a morning panel that you need to get to bed. What will you remember about the beginning of our friendship?
Actually, like, I love to make friends, like, all over the world. So, and like, for me, like, you seemed like a good guy who been like in many like terrible situation like me, and like I can understand you. So, I was like super happy to hang out with you, with him.
Likewise.
Yeah, I love it. It was like a nice night.
It's a real honor, man. My respect.
Yeah, I like really respect your work, what you're doing, what you believe in it. So I do believe that people who are like believing in something, and you do believe like in many things, which is like really important.
Awesome. Well, let's get you home.